Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you click my channel. Well, welcome. If you cannot tell from the title of this video, I am doing a reread of my favorite series. I'm doing a reread of Red Rising. And I meant to put this video out a couple days ago, but your girl's been really busy, and I didn't do that. Today's March 2nd, so I'm behind the curve. Anyways, yeah, if you guys would like to read along with me, then just sit back, relax, and I will tell you all the pages and how I have it broken down and how I'll be reading them. If you don't know anything about this series, I will give you a brief synopsis of the first book and following. I'm not going to talk too much about them. Also, if you would like to see a review of this, I won't say the series, but book 1 at least, I have a non-spoilery, spoilery review on my channel, so I have a link down in my description. I've talked about this book a plethora of times, but the first book in the series is Red Rising, and it is following a man named Darrow who is basically lives on Mars. He is a miner and he has to find helium, or he's mining helium to terraform this world. Basically, that's what he believes. That's what everybody believes. Well, his wife finds out like that's not the truth and that this whole time they've been lying to him. So the back reads, his wife's taken, his people enslaved, driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. This book first got introduced to me by one of my soldiers. We were out in the field one day, and then we were just talking about books because I had brought like a stack of books to the field. Because, like, what? But he was reading this book, and I was like, well, what is it about? And he's like, well, it's really hard to explain. So you just got to read it. So I purchased it on Kindle, read it, loved it so much, and literally literally left the field. We were going to do a dinner, and then I went to the dinner. Right before the dinner, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I purchased book 2 and 3. At the time, 2 and 3 were the only books out, and Iron Gold was coming out later on that year. So I've been in love ever since. Anyways, I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to break down how I'm reading the series. But first one starting, technically, I'm late because I should have started on the first, but I didn't. Totally fine. I do have them broken down into weeks. So there are 5 weeks in March. So for each week will be an amount of pages. I was going to do the days, but it was just a little too much. So if you do want to read along, go ahead and read at any pace that you want to read. But if you do want to follow the weeks, so it's a little bit more easy to digest, I can't talk because it's 10 o'clock at night, then you go ahead and do that. But this is just what I'm going to be doing. I probably will, I don't know, I might host every month. At the end of the month, I might host like just a talk about the book, because it's technically supposed to be a read along. I don't know yet. We'll see. But if you want to join my Discord and talk about it, I'll have a section in my Discord set up for the Red Rising read along. And you can find my Discord linked. It's always been there. But yeah. Anyways, so for Red Rising, for week 1, I should be reading to chapter 11. Week 2 is to 21. Week 3 is to 30. Week 4 is to 37. And week 5 is finished. I will have all this down in the description as well as on my Discord. So don't worry if you can't figure out, how to read it. That's how I'm going to be reading. And yeah, like I said, it's the second, so I'm kind of behind on my first week. But I'm not too worried. Alright, the next book in the series is A Golden Sun. And there are only 4 weeks in the month of April. So I will be reading to part 2 for week 1. Week excuse me. Yeah, week 1 is part 2. Week 2 is part 3. Week 3 is chapter 35. And week 4 is finishing. Again, read at whatever pace you would like to read. But it's just easy to digest when you break them down and you're not stressing like, oh my god, I gotta read this whole thing. Like, if you can break it down weekly, it allows you to, one, enjoy the book even more and read other books, you know. For Morning Star, it's going to be, for week 1, I'm going to be reading to chapter 14, week 2 to 27, week 3 to 40, week 4 to 53, and week 5 is to finish. Then, obviously, next is Iron Gold, and week 1 is to chapter 15, week 2 to chapter 27, week 3 to chapter 37, 27, 37, and then week 4 is 51, week 5 is finish, and that will be in the month of June. So I kind of had it backwards, but the last book that we will be reading before Lightbringer comes out in July, which technically we will be reading this in July. Well, I say we, but me. I'll be reading this in July. If I can't remember the actual date that it comes out, but I think it's either coming out mid-July or the end of July. I could be totally wrong. It like comes out the freaking first week. Either way, I know that I'm not going to read it when it first comes out. So, and there was like no other way to, my cats are playing in a box. But there was no other way to like push the books without like it being super quick, because obviously Iron Gold is 500, almost 600 pages, and this book is 752 pages. So there are definitely some tomes. And I will say, because I have read Iron Gold, and I have almost read about a third of this, actually. I just haven't finished it. But I have read a lot of this. And I will say, once you get to Iron Gold, it does become a little bit hard to digest, simply because the first three series are only told in Darrow's perspective. Like, then Iron Gold comes and there's 4 perspectives, so it really just kind of like throws you out of the series. So it did take me a while to read Iron Gold, and then same for Dark Age. It's 4 perspectives as well. But anyways, for Dark Age, there are only 4 weeks in the month of July, which was another reason why I didn't want to try to jam 2 books into one sitting. And for week 1, it's reading to chapter 24. Week 2 is to 45. Week 3 is to 67. And week 4 is to finish. And I will be reading Lightbringer in August. So, unless I'm just like feeling myself and I'm like, yeah, I really, really, really want to go ahead and read 2 books in 1 month, not going to happen. And also, another reason is I didn't want to force you guys to try to read it too. That's if anyone wants to read along with me. You totally don't have to. But I was also trying to think about the community, and trying to jam 2 books into 1 month might be a little much. So yeah, that's it. Those are how I'm going to be reading it. Again, if you want to read along with me, let me know. Reach out to me on my Twitter, Instagram. Everything's linked down below. But yeah, this is the series. I will be reading my paperbacks because I'm going to annotate them. I always said I was going to annotate them and I never did. But now's the prime time to do it. So yeah, I will be reading my paper backs. And if you can't tell, I did try to like keep the sticky notes the same color as the book, minus this last one, which is purple. But like literally, I tried to match the colors because I'm a nerd. But yes, that's it. That's the read along. I don't think I have anything else to put out in this video. I'm kind of just rambling because it's also 10 o'clock at night, and I do have to read some pages because I'm actually doing 75 hard. So I need to read my 15 pages for the day, which will be Red Rising, because I need to get on that. I need to read for this week. And yeah, I'm rambling. So that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as the series and where to find how we can talk about it, my Discord, and all that. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you didn't come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.